All right, Facebook family, here we go.
No one can make an intelligent decision without being properly informed. This is why this world wants to control the media. This is why media hype can take you up, take you down. So you don't know anymore who's really good, because the media can make a wicked man look good and make a good man look evil. That is why. I'm like Saddam, keeping my eye on Clinton, watching each movie he make, cause every slither he takes sort of reminds.
Peace, everybody. This is your man Herman Muhammad. Hey, it's good to see y'all. Hey, I'm in the chat room with y'all. What's up, Nate? Aaron, what's happening? We're getting Hashim on in a hot minute. Miss Sharice, how you doing? And Miss Sylvia Papusi, it's good to see you all tonight. Harry Greer, my brother, it's good to see y'all. Welcome to the Final Call News Hour. The Final Call News Hour is the partner of the Final Call newspaper, which you can visit at www.digital.finalcall.com. That's the address right there. Again, this is your man Herman Muhammad, and on the line I have my brother Hashim Hakeem. We just had to get some technical difficulties out of the way. The issue that we're going to be covering today is entitled, was actually volume 38, number 9, Iran, Farrakhan, and the Truth. During his recent trip to the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan met with high-level officials, students, and media. One of his meetings was with His Excellency Mohsen Razi, Secretary of the Expediency Discernment Council, a legislative branch of the Iranian government. Read part 1 of Minister Farrakhan's message, his words concerning sanctions against Iran, the need for Muslim unity, and the rise of Islam in the West through the Nation of Islam, and God's sanctions against America. Oh man, it's a powerful, powerful edition of the Final Call newspaper, and this is a powerful, powerful show, because on the show today we have a very powerful, powerful guest, our big brother, who's in somewhere in Florida, man. All I know is he's not in Denver no more. He used to be in Denver, but he he done transferred to Florida. On the line, we got my brother Hashim Hakeem, aka H2. How you doing, big brother?
Man, I'm excited, man. Glad to be back, man. It's been since 2007 we did this, huh?
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah, brother. We're gonna jump right in, brother Hashim. Well, first off, let me ask you this, brother. What does our big brother Hashim Hakeem have going on as of late, music-wise or anything else?
Right. So yes, of course. I'm always busy, of course, in the music business, in the way that the culture vultures say. They say that we should, a person can only be as relevant as his last hit or his last song. But we don't believe that. In fact, the black community, we the only ones who put a time limit on how long we should be in the music business.
Right.
But if you study other Caucasians and other nationalities, you got groups like the Rolling Stones. They can still go on tour right now and sell out. Grateful Dead can still go on tour right now and sell out. But I've realized that the message that needs to be broadcasted in the media, on the radio, and is the message that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is giving to us. So only a few people can spit that language. Shout out to Jay-Z right now for What Is Free, him, Meek Mills, and Rick Ross just did a song right now, What Is Free. And it's only a few that can speak the language of the people without preaching. And, you know, hip-hop started off as a conscious arena that spoke to the social ills that plagued the black community. It was our platform. It was our soapbox to where we could speak about what's going on in our community. And now it's been taken over by the culture vultures. And now what we see in hip-hop today is not really hip-hop. And so I'm working on a project that only somebody like myself could do, to speak to the social ills that black people need to hear about what's about to happen. There's a lot of black, not just blacks, poor whites, Latinos, people don't really understand that the fall of America is underway. They really don't understand those times that they've heard the end of the world. All those times that we heard, these are the last days. All those times you heard from our childhood that this establishment is going down. Well, you and I and your listeners, we are living in that time right now. And the fall of America is underway right before our very eyes. And so I am working on a project to speak the language of the people, to blow that trumpet. And I'm working on an album. My son is doing it. And, you know, shout out to Jay Electronica, shout out to Jay-Z, shout out to a lot of artists that are speaking the language right now that shall warn our people of the fall of America. Religion is not going to save you. Politics is not going to save you. The public school system is not going to save you. And so we want to get further into the show, and I'm sure you ask questions. I want to talk about what is going to save us. So that's go ahead.
Oh, man. Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. You just said a lot, man. You sparking these my brain cells just to go crazy, man, because the state of hip hop, man. While I have you, you talked about it just a little bit, but let's just touch on the state of hip hop. According to Hakeem, what do you think of what's going on with the music today?
I think everything needs to happen for a reason. And I think what has happened with hip-hop is the same paradigm, the same model, the same formula that the powers that be, the Europeans and Caucasian, our former slave masters, have used on everything that blacks have created. They take it over, they destroy it. Everything that we have created, every natural resource we have, some kind of way, the Caucasian finds a way to take it over and then monetize it, rename it and make it his. Hip-hop is a natural resource just like the rest of our natural resources from Africa. Hip-hop is a natural resource like oil. Hip-hop is a natural resource like all of the resources that we have in Africa. Hip-hop is one, created by us, for us. But the Caucasian, once again, has found out how to take it over, control it, and monetize it. So I think hip-hop will survive, but I think the state it's in right now is kind of like the black man. We're going to survive, but we're in a struggle right now, man. Police brutality is beating us down, and we know who's doing that. We know white supremacy is full throttle right now. We know who's behind that. We know hip-hop is full throttle right now. It is. It's still powerful. But the powers that are controlling it, how can our art, how can our talent, how can something we create be controlled by white folks? And then monetize, and they make millions of it, but we are the ones who suffer. So Jay-Z said it best, man. I don't care how successful you be. To them, you still a nigga, and they are not going to let you control and own everything without taking you out some kind of way. You get too powerful, and you're a black man, well, we're going to take you out. That is the mind of white supremacy. It has always been, and it will always be. And now, no. It has always been, and his time is up for that. And that day that they will control it and control this country and control black people, that day is over. Sorry, white folks, it's over.
Man. Okay, brother Hashim. So let me challenge you a little bit on that, brother. Let me challenge you a little bit on that. Because what do we say to those who have this sense of hopelessness in regards to hip hop and in regards to how the white man is just so powerful and he'll never let us in and he controls the money and this and that and the third. What do we say to those people who that's their response when we talk about doing for self, whether it be in hip hop or in any other way, whether we talk about the question of separation, which we're going to get into in just a hot moment. What do we say to those people?
But the most honorable Elijah Muhammad told us right. He told us right. He said, if a man won't treat you right, he won't teach you right. And I like how Muhammad Ali put it. when the question was asked, are there any good white folks? Like, what about the good white folks? And paraphrase, Muhammad Ali simply put it, if there's 1,000 rattlesnakes that's trying to be nice, but it's 1 million rattlesnakes trying to kill me, no, I'm going to shut the door because I ain't got time to decipher and figure out which one is trying to be nice. I'm going to just shut the door and do my thing.
Indeed.
And that's do for self. So that's what we need to do. We need to shut the door on letting Caucasians control us. See, the new game right now is integration. It's been their game forever.
Right.
If integration fails, white people fail.
Right.
I'm going to say it again. If integration fails, white people fail. We are the ones who built this country. We are the ones who are the blueprint and the framework and the architect work of the White House is built by us. The bastard slave. And it's modern today to what the license plate and computers and all these things. There's free labor going on in the prison right now. But they selling those things that we make in prison for, the prison industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Absolutely.
Of the slaves, not just because of the brothers that are in jail. No, but because of the things that they are making and producing and manufacturing in prison. For pennies on the nickel. I have a brother right now in prison doing life. And we have to send him money every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. And he's doing life in prison.
Wow.
And why? And he says, it's hard here. But they making stuff like Dell computers.
Right.
And they selling Dell computers from anywhere from $300 to $1,000. Some of them is $1,800.
Wow.
But they don't get that money. So it's the same thing. Caucasians do not, white supremacy, the mind of a white supremacist, it does not intend for black people to be in power of anything. Because if they are in power, they can no longer control you. So once they have no more control over us, once we unite and pull our resources like any other nationality would do, then that's where their demise is. And fortunately for the brown, the black, the poor white, the Hispanic, that day is happening right now as we speak. They can't control it, they can't stop it, but they're not going out without a fight, without a war, without a battle, without all kind of tricks. And that's what's going on right now. They're pulling all kind of tricks, all kind of stunts. The trick of integration is full throttle. And if you're still in the mind frame of can we all get along, your time is over with too, and you're going to go right with the fall of America.
Right.
So that's hip-hop. Hip-hop is at a state right now to where it's falling. Most people don't like what we're hearing on the radio today. Most people don't like it. This young generation has been under social engineering since they were born. They call it the baby boomers on one end. Social engineering is in full effect to where most of our children are programmed. Programmed for destruction, programmed from the pipeline from school to prison. They programmed to follow white folks. They programmed to never think that they will be in power. But now, another part of the young generation is saying, Mama, I don't want to do it like y'all did it. I'm not trying to go to school all forever just to work a job, because that's all the white man going to offer you is a job.
Right.
It's time for us to rule again. So let me answer your question. The state of hip-hop is the same state that this country is in. It's on its way down. And it has to be destroyed so it can be rebuilt. But it's not going to be rebuilt with the same owners. And this country will not be ruled by white supremacy either.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And brother, I have to tell you that part of my inspiration for wanting to do the show tonight, man, and to build with you was we had and shout outs to brother Jeff and sister Vicky X Dillard and sister Michi X and brother Dr. Boyce Watkins. They had a meeting here in Denver last night where they were talking about the black agenda. And, you know, all of you out there in YouTube land and Facebook land, you can go on YouTube and check that out if you weren't able to go. But, you know, they were talking about a black agenda, which leads us right to the article which appears on page 3 of this issue of the Final Call newspaper. And it asks the question, should blacks consider separation?
That's right.
So I'm gonna just read the first couple of paragraphs and then get your thoughts on it. So next year will mark 400 years since a group of Africans arrived in Point Comfort, Virginia, after being kidnapped from their homeland to begin a life of brutality, subjugation, and oppression as slaves to white colonizers in a strange land. The patriarch of the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, taught that the first black Africans were kidnapped and actually brought to America as slaves 64 years prior in 1555. One thing is clear. The over 4-century sojourn of blacks in America has been a far cry from the founding fathers' cry that all men are created equal. Which brings us right up to today, which brings us right to this meeting with the black agenda, which brings us right here to this time in this space in America, this time in this space where people are beginning to reconsider what the Nation of Islam has been teaching for 80 years with regards to separation. Should we, as a people, really, I already know your answer, but should we, as a people, consider separation? Why or why not?
Of course, I wanna say a few things first before I say, of course, the why. Of course, it's should. So of course, we should separate. But I don't want to come from a Nation of Islam perspective per se. I just want to play neutral right now, and I want to quote Jay-Z, who gets it from the Nation of Islam, who has gotten it from the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Then I want to go to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. When you talk about separation, man, some black people start to think, what about my white friends that I work with? What about my white friends that I'm on the football team with? You know, they start thinking like, hold on. You know, they start thinking like this. And so I like how the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad put it. And if our people would just listen to what he said. It comes from the Fall of America.
Go ahead.
And he says, if white America wanted to free her slaves, she could easily do so.
Right.
This would be simpler and easier than what she is doing now, killing and provoking us through police brutality, National Guards, and finally, the U.S. Army and what she's doing in Detroit. America's action shows us two things. Firstly, she wishes to cause fear among black people with the display of many deadly weapons, but Allah is removing the fear from black people. Secondly, she fears to approach her unarmed us. She fears to approach black people unless she is armed. Black people don't want to approach her unless they got all kind of weapons. So he says, secondly, she fears to approach black people unless they are armed. This has been the historical relation between the white man and his slave, which is us. The white man seeks the leadership of black people. Why? Why do we seek black leadership? The white man seeks the leadership of black people to help him keep the dissatisfied black people subject to him without complaints about injustice. So they'll put a black president in. They'll put a black person in office. They'll put a black congressman here. So they ain't got to deal with the injustice. They let the black people answer those questions. See, the white man's motto is, nigga, you should be happy. You're better off than many of your black kind with a job. That's what he say to rich celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Lil Wayne say, Black Lives Matter. I'm rich.
Right.
So you got a couple black people making money, a few Negroes making money. We call them whores.
Mm.
In slavery days, those were the same people that the slave master said, crack the whip. And if you don't whoop that person with the whip, we gonna whoop you. That's what these people are, these black people who got money. They'll say, but it's a lot of black people who are successful, and like that's going to erase white supremacy because Oprah Winfrey is a multi-millionaire.
Right.
Like that's going to erase what happened to Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, Tamir Rice. The list goes on and on because there's a few successful black people in. And we start thinking, oh, we got a little progress because we got some rich Negroes. So to say it, now, black people are starting to say, hold on. Now, you heard Jay-Z just released a song called What is Free, man. I'm going to go right to this because I know you got a lot to talk about. That's what Jay-Z said.
Mm-hmm.
In the land of the free, where the blacks enslaved, 3/5 of man, I believe, is the free.
Mm.
I'm 50% USA. And it's debt free, yeah? 100% of the Ace of Spades worth half a beat. Rock Nation. Half of that, that's my piece. 100% of title to bust it up with my G. Since most of my niggas won't ever work together, you run up a check. You run a check up, but they never give you leverage. You see what he's saying?
Yeah.
You get money, but white folks, they don't never give you leverage. So he said, you run a check up, but they never give you leverage.
Right.
No red hat. That's to make America great again.
Right.
No red hat. Don't Michael and Prince me and Ye. You talking about him? Don't kill him like and Jay. Don't kill him and Kanye West
Like
they
Prince
killed
and Michael Jackson. Yeah.
They separate you when you got Michael and Prince's DNA. Let me hit that line again. No red hat. Don't Michael and Prince me and Ye. They separate you when you got Michael and Prince's DNA.
Mm.
And so Jay-Z trying to stay plugged with the street. He said, I ain't one of these house niggas you bought. My house is like a resort. My house is bigger than yours. My spouse, come on. My route, better, of course. We started with our food in our mouth. They gave us pork and pig intestines.
Mm.
Shit you just started that we ingested. We made the project a wave. You came back, reinvested, and gentrified it. And that's what's going on in a lot of these cities today. You see them working on the streets and the road, and you think they fixing up your community. No. They getting these streets ready for these tanks to come through. They getting these streets ready to control these tanks, and they beautifying certain neighborhoods because guess who's going to occupy those homes in a few years? White people.
Right.
And I heard 50 Cent, this is just a plug, 50 Cent said, and right recently you started to see white people jog in the hood. That means they get ready to take it over. And sometimes you gotta bust a couple shots in the air to scare their ass. But no, that's what he said. But that's what's going on today, man. That's really what's going on. And I just said that Jay-Z put that out in the song.
Right.
Now, if you remember Jay-Z, Kanye did a song called Big Brother.
Right.
And Kanye was saying, and it was in an interview too, he was talking about Damon Dash and Jay-Z. They like two parents, and he was torn between the two. And he said, Dash taught him business on an aggressive level.
Right.
Jay-Z taught him how to maneuver in a room full of vultures. Which means Kanye got the best of both worlds. So I know how to play the game, but I ain't going to never lose focus on who I am. So what you see with this whole hype of Make America Great Again, slavery was a choice and all, please, Black America, do not sleep on Kanye West. Do not sleep on Jay-Z. And what Jay-Z just said in this song right here, don't Michael and Prince me and yet. Don't kill us.
Right.
That's a plea to us. That's really for Black America to listen. That Jay-Z, listen, man, I played y'all game. Y'all killing my people. Y'all promoting this negativity. Y'all done watered down hip-hop. demonize the black man, we're not going to have it. Not on our watch.
Yes, sir.
So don't be surprised if they try to Michael and Prince, Jay-Z and Ye, like they did any other black person that was on their route to being free and being free. That's it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Look, I want to shout out some of the people in the chat room, and y'all can weigh in if you hear anything that you want to talk about, and I'll try and get to your comments. We got Brother Jihad Amos Muhammad in the room, Sister V Law, Sister Tanya Reed Russell, praise Allah, Brother Everett Ellison. I haven't seen my brother since East High School. My brother Mark Treadwell, Brother Victor's in the building, Brother Julius is in the building, Brother Jason, Brother Damon Finley, Big Finn, Herm the Barber's in the spot, Devian Tatum, my sister Waletta, Miss Napew is in the building, Tracy X Gosby's in the building, and Miss Tina and Sister Tanya Rosenschwag. I can never pronounce my sister's name, but we want to give them all a shout out for being in the room this evening. We're talking about the question of separation and should we consider it. And with all that being said, Brother Hashim, a lot of our people are really caught up in the ways of the world. And let me just read something from the final call. It says, decades of laws, legislation, and policies under Republican and Democratic political leadership has undergirded this reality. Record numbers of black politicians, professionals, and millionaires who are still tied to and intertwined within the mindset of white supremacy and black inferiority have failed to break the grip of mental slavery and servitude of black America. And that's so important, man, with regards to what we're talking about, because in my mind, there's no doubt that we should consider separation. That should be our, just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, our only solution. And the reason for me saying that is, how long is too long for us to be under white supremacy and oppression? You know what I'm saying? We've been here since 1555, according to this writing. And that's well over 400 years. And if, like you said earlier when in your opening, if they're not going to teach you right, they're not going to treat you right. If you haven't been able to get along with them, and I'm talking about white folks, y'all, don't be scared. If you haven't been able to get along with them in all of this time, what makes you think that they're all of a sudden going to change? We just had a so-called blue wave, right? Where now Democrats have taken over the House of Representatives. They didn't get the Senate, Brother Hashim, but they got the House. And a lot of our people, man, we celebrating, we blowing up balloons and kazoos because now we got some Democrats who gonna check Donald Trump, allegedly. And I just can't wait to see these Negroes disappointed because ain't nothing happening. Trump gonna keep rolling the way that he been rolling. And so again, what does it look like? Because the final call asked the question, you know, if we are to separate, what does that look like? What is the beginning of separation in Brother Hashim Hakim's humble opinion?
I want to say, thank you, Brother Herman. You set that up real good. I'm listening to some of your listeners right now. I'm listening to their thoughts right now, man. When you start thinking separation, man, you got little JoJo, man. You got this little white girl, man, his girlfriend. You know what I mean? Some brothers is married to Caucasian women, and you got co-workers that they cool with and they go to picnic with. You know, I went to college out there. You know,
right.
State University. I had a lot of white people that I was cool with, kicked it with, man. But I know what time it is. See, we're not talking about them kind of white people right there y'all worried about. We're talking about the white people that's in power. So when we talk about separation, we're talking about white supremacy. So I'm not wanting you to start looking at if your mother is white, mama, I gotta separate from you. That ain't what we talk about. Right. Separation, man. Don't get petty with us when we say separation. When we start thinking about your wife, she done gave you children. Oh, I gotta get a divorce. They say separate from you, baby. Nah, don't be foolish, man.
Right.
When we talk about separation, Deontay Wilder, man, the Brown Bomber, man, he got a fight coming up.
Yes, sir.
with Tyson Fury, and everybody saw the clip that went viral when he was talking about 400 years.
Yeah.
Slavery.
Yes.
400 years
Yes.
of slavery, and we still being oppressed to this day. We are talking about white supremacy, the powers that be, not your white mother, brother, or your white wife, or your white husband. And now they white supremacists, they can get on out the way. But when we talk about separation and what it looks like this. Do you notice Asians, they don't vote, but they own a lot of businesses in the black community?
Right.
It looks like this. In Chicago, where I'm from, Chinatown, they got their whole town. They even got a Walgreens. Walgreens written in Walgreens, and then another written in China. But it's a Walgreens. They got their own banks. Chase Bank in English, but then the other part is written in Chinese. They got their own restaurants. Their whole town. That's what separate look like. It means blacks, do something for yourself.
Right.
Sure, we can do business with the Caucasians. Sure, we can do international trade and commerce with white folks. But we are going to control, like, our communities. We have our own policing system.
Right.
We have our own judicial system, not the Caucasian judicial system. And if anybody still in 2018 believes in the judicial system, like it still has justice for black people, kind of needs to fall with America. We don't even want you in our society still believing in politics. Now, listen, why did it take 44 terms, like 44 centuries almost, 44 terms just to get one black president?
Right.
You ever think about that?
Right.
Why it took so long to get that? He's the smartest man we had ever.
Man.
And we just now got a black. No, man, don't believe in politics. I hear people believe in politics more than they believe in their own God they serve.
Wow.
People believe in politics more than they Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Who you voting for?
Man.
They ain't talking about Jesus when it comes to politics. They ain't talking about Jesus getting a vote seat. They talking about whoever the alderman is. So listen, separation. What it looks like is, I got a quote. The out there while it's in the most honorable Muhammad, and then you ask me my humble opinion. Man, slavery is still in full effect. It's just modernized.
Right.
And I gotta be honest. The most honorable Muhammad said, for 400 years, you, slave master, have been killing black people without receiving any resistance. And regardless of our peaceful way with you, you keep killing us. So, we the Muslims have tried to live in peace here in America. There is not a single incident in our history here in America where we have made an aggressive move against you, white people. But you have attacked us several times. We have proved to the world that you are impossible to live with. So the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, since we stepped foot on this soil, and slaves, and not just slaves, not just the Muslims, it is impossible to live in peace with these Caucasians. Just imagine living in peace with a whole bunch of people around you from the Trump rally. Just imagine all your neighbors is the type of people that be at Trump's rally. Just imagine your neighborhood was like that. Your job was like that. Just imagine everywhere you look, all the Caucasians treated you like the people at Trump rally. That's what it's about to get to right now. These Caucasians, you ain't seen nothing yet. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, when Trump get in office, what year was that when he said that he gonna take this country to hell in a rocket ship?
Oh man,
What
he said that in 2015, right before the election.
Right before the election.
Yes, sir.
He said when Trump gets in office, he's gonna take this country to hell on a rocket ship, real fast. And now Caucasians, man, they coming out of the woodworks. And I know my poor Caucasians hate when I generalize.
Right.
But I don't want to play. I don't want to give our people and any of our listeners hope or a glimpse that I'm saying that one day we're going to all get along. It'll never happen.
Right.
The only time that'll happen is when you are in control of your own government, your own land, your own schools, your own judicial power when they cannot control you. I mean, that's the only time we're going to get along with white folks, when they can no longer control us.
Yes, sir. And man, and you brought something up, brother, that sparked something in my mind with regards to politics. And this is a conversation that I've had with people in the city, you know, especially a lot of our people, because, you know, we staunch Democrats. You know, so I had to, you know, lace them with a little bit of information with regards to the Democratic, or I like to call it the Democratic Party, or the Republicans. Neither one of them no good for us, right? But, you know, we're historically Democrats. We didn't used to be that way. We used to be Republicans because that was the party of Lincoln. It wasn't until the New Deal and Roosevelt where we decided that we were going to be Democrats because we thought they had something more to offer us, right? But here's my thing. One of the Democrats' stances, and you all in the chat room listen very carefully, is they are pro-choice, right?
Pro what?
Pro-choice in terms of abortion, right? That's a Democratic stance that they take. That's a hot button issue. You and I know and understand that the founder of Planned Parenthood, which, you know, advocates abortion or pro-choice, was Margaret Sanger. Absolutely correct. Margaret Sanger was a known white supremacist, for those of you who don't know, and eugenist who said that, and I wish I had a picture of Margaret Sanger, oh devil ass, but she said that blacks were a weed that needed to be exterminated. Right? This is and she used politics, she used preachers, the Democratic Party, which we are overwhelmingly a part of, to push these Planned Parenthood policies. This is what has happened, Brother Hashim, since 1983. We're not even going to go all the way back to when Planned Parenthood was founded, but we're just going to go back to 1983 and keep this in mind for all of our Democrats who believe in representative politics. Since 1983, black women have had, listen to me good, 17 million abortions. 17 million, brother. So if we put that in context, that's 17 million 35-year-olds, right, who probably had children. So that's even more of our population that we've killed off through abortion. But we number 40 to 50 million people here in the United States of America, right? And in a country that is a democratic republic that counts votes, you know, according to population, that means that we've lost at least 17 million voters under the Democrats. You see the trick?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
that's good.
I say all that to say, and we've lost even more than that, because in representative politics, that would mean that we would, instead of counting for 40 to 50 million, we would count for probably 60 to 80 million. You know what I'm saying? Which means that we would have more representation in the Congress, which means that we would have more representation in the Senate, which means we would probably, if this was a system that was built for us, we will probably have more representation even in the so-called White House. But we don't, because it's all a trick. It don't work for us, which is more of a reason why we should consider separation.
Now you're going somewhere. Now we're going somewhere. Now we don't want to confuse the listeners, because we kind of checkmate them right now. And they like, okay, they get nervous. I can see them sweating. Some of them done got off the line because they cannot get rid of their white cheeks. Listen, don't go. Please don't go. Listen to us. He is right. Now, if 17 million of our people have been killed through abortion, I'm talking about blacks, right?
Right, blacks. I'm not talking about everybody else. I'm just talking about blacks.
17 million. Then, how about how about the millions of blacks that still prison? Let's talk about that. Gone. 17 million dead through abortion. Then black on black crime. Then crime from white terrorists.
Right.
Police brutality. We fight the war as black people. It's like almost impossible for us to win. We played their game. We playing their game.
Right.
We voting. Now listen, the state of Florida just passed this Fourth Amendment. That now ex-felons now have the right to vote.
Okay.
You know why they allowed that to go through?
Why is that?
You know why they allowed? Because they know politics has nothing to do with freedom, justice, and equality for black people. You know why they allowed that to go and why they allowed President Obama to be the president? Because they really control and pull the strings.
Right.
President Obama, these black politicians, these black so-called governors are puppets. You in the white supremacy arena. You cannot win. You can't beat this man in this game.
Right.
Same with the third game. That's another millions and millions of our people gone. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, listen. I want y'all to see what the Muslims have to offer. Listen to what we have to offer. We're not killing you. The Muslims try to save you. We try to teach you the right foods to eat. Because guess what? That's another arena where they are killing. With GMO, genetically modified organisms.
Right.
Fake food. Food that if you eat it, you're going to get sick. Did you know, in particular to your listeners, that the government has approved, the FDA has approved certain poisons and chemicals to go into your food that knowing you're going to get sick, just so the doctors can prescribe medicine for you just to keep the economy going.
Right.
They got chemicals in food right now, that in particular fast food, and they got medicine waiting on you because they know what it's going to do to you. And they got medicine waiting on you just to keep the economy going. They are at us. So guess what? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, we got to grow our own food.
Right.
So we got our own farmland right now. We got to feed our people because they're killing us with the food they're giving us. They're killing us in the hospital. They're killing us in the public school system. They got vaccines now in the disguise of flu shots.
Right.
They're killing us at birth, causing autism amongst our children. But that's not happening in the Nation of Islam. We live it.
Right.
Nothing, but we survive it. So the people want to know, okay. Let me see what these Muslims are talking about. Why is it in Denver, Chicago, wherever your listeners are viewing from, we got the most churches and the most crime? How we got the most churches and the most crime in the black community? Something wrong with that. Religion is not the answer.
Right.
It's going to take more than religion to save us. It's going to take more than marching and protesting to save us. So I want us to listen to what the Honorable Minister, what Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. And when we get ready, Brother Herman, we can close out with it. I don't know when you want to go. But I think they need to know what the Muslims want, man, what we have to offer.
Yes,
because
sir.
they done tried everything else.
Right.
Are they winning? Are we winning? No, we're not. And we're dying at an alarming rate. And I believe everything the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said.
That's right.
He said it's going to get worse. So
Absolutely.
since we know it's going to get worse, why don't we listen to what he's talking about? Why don't you consider what we're talking about? Why don't we just listen and see what he's talking about? Y'all doing Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam like y'all did Noah in the ark. Y'all doing Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam like y'all did Moses. Y'all trying to stay with Pharaoh. Y'all trying to stay with the enemy. But when Moses split that sea and he said, let my people go, and then Pharaoh had to give in. You know why Pharaoh had to give in? Because he had to contend with the big bone.
That's right.
That's why the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is calling out these so-called Jews. We got to get their names, man. We got to call these Alan Greenspan, and we got to call them out.
Dershowitz and
calling these people out, man, to a showdown.
Yeah.
You say we anti-Semitic. You say we against Jews. No, we against you fake imposters posing as Jews.
That's right.
He's killing our people, sucking the life out of our people, sucking the life out of the artists in the music industry, sucking the life out of the artists in Hollywood, and making them hoes and whores and into bestiality and all kind of illicit sex and perverted acts to be sworn in to Hollywood and to the music industry. We talking about you people.
Right.
Your time is up. Your day is over. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Aaron Taylor says, let's stop black on black crimes in our community first, brothers. I agree, absolutely. And then she asked the question, what do y'all think about these lynchings going on and burning black churches in the community? I couldn't get the whole statement, but yeah, we definitely believe that we have to stop this black on black crime amongst our people, but we can't get it confused. You know, we have to know, and the whole black on black crime piece is another reason why we should separate, because we're only acting like little devils because we've been taught by some big devils. You know what I'm saying? So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teach us, man, that when we do something in ignorance, you know, of course we're responsible, but we have to consider the condition of mind that we're in and how we got there. You know, there's a lot of black on black crime that stems from our treatment in slavery, and that's not just an excuse. There is a such thing as PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to address those issues. We have to come out of that mindset, which reminds me of one of the final calls that we just had. Let me show you guys that. Come on out. You know, and it speaks about what Brother Hashim was saying in terms of these Jews who have lied on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but it's also a double entendre, meaning that we have to come out of the mind of our enemy. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to achieve what we need to achieve, in order for us to really, truly separate, we have to come out of the minds of our enemies first and foremost.
I like where you're going. That's exactly what I'm talking about with that come on out. So this is where I'm going. I want to stay right with what separation looks like. I want to stay there for a minute. So when we talk about separation, we're talking in particular about independence and the black man doing for himself. Mm-hmm. What we can do for ourselves instead of asking for handouts from our former slave masters. You know, we have done this before. We have done this in Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street. We have done it in Detroit. Mm-hmm. And right now, Rick Ross got a song out called "Buy Back the Block." I invite everybody to listen to that. He has a song called "Buy Back the Block," and it's going on all over the country where blacks are engaging in real estate. I want to commend you all who are into buying land. Buy up as much of it as possible. I want to commend those of you who are into owning, who are trying to buy blocks, who are trying to buy businesses. I want to commend you because we talked about a boycott here in Jacksonville, Florida. Mm-hmm. But you can't boycott something unless you have some alternative place to send it to.
Right.
Now, I was offered a business here in Jacksonville, Florida. The man said, I'll give you this facility for free. Do you have any products to fill it up? Does the Nation of Islam have any brand that they can make a store? I told him yes. He said, prove it. This was an older brother trying to figure out, I don't believe black people will support black people. Now, when I'm out with the Final Call newspaper, that's how I sell so many. I tell them it's a black newspaper, and they ask me, and I say, did you know that blacks spent $1.3 trillion? No, did you know that blacks made $1.3 trillion last year? 85% of our dollars go to Koreans, Arabs, and Caucasians.
Right.
it circulates in our community once. But
Right.
the Jewish dollar circulated in their community 7 times. And the first question they ask is, well, what do we have? What do we have? What stores do we have? Well, where can I buy? Black people want to shop black. Black people want to do for self. Don't get it twisted. We want our own. And why is it in all of our communities we own very few of the businesses in our community?
Right.
Maybe a barber shop, Supreme style.
Supreme
Maybe
style. Supreme.
Maybe a restaurant here or there. But we are working all get out. Now listen, I was thinking about this. Do we want to own a beauty salon? Do we want to keep? I think we do. Do we want to own a beauty store? I mean,
Yeah, we do.
about that.
I think so. Yes, sir.
So
We need
now-
everything.
So are we glorifying telling the black woman to look like Becky? Are we glorifying the false look by saying, okay, move away from being natural and look like this? We need you to have all these kind of fake hairs, and we need you to have this. And I'm saying, are we going to own a beauty supply store that we can control? Because to get in with them Koreans and Chinese people, you know, that's some work. But are we still portraying that we want our woman to look like Becky and Sheila right there when we start saying we want a beauty supply store?
You know, it's interesting, man. You know that's my area, and that's a sensitive spot for sisters, man. That's a very sensitive spot for sisters. And so here's what I say, Brother Hashim, with regards to that, because everybody's not in the same place, man. Everybody's not in the same place. Everybody is not going to want the same things specifically, but I'm into just what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan are into, and that is the unity of our people. Unity does not necessarily mean uniformity. Uniformity, of course, is you and I. We both got suits and ties on. We both wear our hair a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Whereas unity is we all want the same thing. We want black businesses, we want black schools, we want black banks, we want to find a way to make these things happen, even though we might have some different opinions on how we want our women to look.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? We could get to that a little bit later on. Those are superficial things. You know what I mean? It does reflect what a person has on their mind, of course, what their outward appearance is. However, we can get to that. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to this whole unity piece and say, can we separate? Saying,
I agree.
first step would be like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad before him: make your neighborhoods decent places to live. You know, in all of these major cities, we have the problem of what we call gentrification, right? But by the time we can identify gentrification, it's been taking place for 15, 20 years. It's already a done dizzle. You know what I'm saying? So white people are all over in Denver. They on the 5 Points, and they on Park Hill. They everywhere where we used to be. Now they moved us out to Green Valley Ranch and Southeast Aurora and North Aurora. Well, like you said, brother, let's just own all of the businesses in Green Valley Ranch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because gentrification is you know, we could say it's evil and whatnot, but what the white people are doing is they're just coming in and they're taking the homes and the businesses that we had, they're beautifying them and bringing the property value up.
I like that. That's something that we can do, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we can do. So I agree with you first on, let's talk about that business. And I ask you, do we want to portray superficial beauty supply stores to our sister? You're right. Let's own it. Whatever we're talking about, let us capitalize on the dollar, and then we'll deal with that later on down the line. But our dollar should not go to Koreans, Arabs,
That's right.
and Caucasians specifically.
That's right.
They should go to the black community. So now, you just touched on something. I was distributing the Final Call newspaper, and oddly enough, many of my customers are Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
The Caucasian read what the Muslim program was. He read do you want this week issue? He said, I don't want that shit.
Right.
And I said, what happened, man? You was excited about the cause. You wanted to help us reduce violence. He said, why do I want to help support you all getting your own land? He said, why do I? This is what the Caucasian said to me. He said, you all are asking for some real, fake, outlandish, never will happen type of thing. And I asked him, what is that? He said, well, this is at a stoplight now. He said, you read number 5. And I had to stop selling final cars for a minute.
Right.
Number 5 said, we want freedom for all believers of Islam, now held in federal prison.
Right.
We want freedom for all black men and women now under death sentences in innumerable prisons in the North as well as the South. We want every black man and woman to have the freedom to accept or reject being separated from the slave master's children and establish a land of their own. Now, he had already drove off.
Right.
But he said, this is some outlandish stuff that'll never happen. He don't want to support us having a land of our own.
Right.
You know why white folks don't want to see us separate? Guess what? They doing gentrification right in the hoods that I work in.
Absolutely.
Most of the construction work is done by Caucasians. And we doing all our own work, building our own businesses, policing our own community, and that's all black. How they gonna get paid?
Right. Exactly right.
How they gonna? And we run the music industry. We control the music industry. We move them out. How they gonna get paid?
Yes, sir.
And we control our black actors guild. And we control the laws and monetize the funds for all our actors without having to go through them. Where would they get their money from?
Right.
White folks do not. They try to go Indians. They ain't gonna try to do Mexicans like they try, but no. They only want to get black people because we are beautiful, talented, intelligent. So they want to take our resources, control it, monetize it, and that's how they come up. That's why he didn't want to support. No, I don't want to help support my demise. Is what he was saying.
Right. You show you right. And for those of us in the chat room who don't understand what Brother Hashim and I are talking about, on every back page of the Final Call newspaper, and this is a shout out to the Final Call newspaper, is the Muslim program. And the Muslim program is going to tell you what the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe. I'm going to give you that. That's the Muslim program, y'all. If y'all not hip to that, there it is right there. What the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe. And we actually have a program. So for all of you all who don't think, and we wrapping up on we running up on time, Brother Hashim, that the question of separation could be a reality like that white man. The Nation of Islam has a program. And like we were saying earlier, we don't want uniformity. We want unity. You don't have to ever join the Nation of Islam. You don't have to, in terms of become a registered member. You don't have to become a FOI or a Fruit of Islam. That's the name given to the military training of men who belong to Islam in North America. We know that everybody can't be an FOI. It takes a special type of brother. It takes a Hashim Hakeem or a Herman Muhammad to be an FOI. Mighty FOI till we die. You know, that's a very elite group of men. You know what I'm saying? But you can be a contributor to the nation. You could want freedom, justice, and equality. You could want to make your communities a better and decent place to live. You could want to open up black businesses, schools, banks, you know, the whole nine. So that's what we want to get our people to join on to. That's the idea that we want you to buy into, because the time has come. Your president is Donald Trump. I think we can stop right there, Brother Hashim. You know what I'm saying? If your president is Donald Trump, man, you got a hell of a problem. And it ain't the black Muslims. You dig? But go ahead.
Yeah, I did. We did. I agree. I need to say this. But some of you all who don't know what to do, or we didn't make our case strong enough in this video, I need you some kind of way subscribe to the Final Call newspaper. I need you to get on. When you listen, all of these things that we're talking about and inviting you all to do, Brother Herman just said it. We have programs. We have the 3-year economic program right now. We have this. We have farmland. Do you know the bean pie that we serve? That's made by beans grown on our own farmland.
Right.
The wheat flour is made by the wheat made from that's grown on our own farmland. We are working. We have programs for our people. Y'all just need to come and get with us and see what we're doing for our people. Not just for the Nation of Islam, but for all of our people. We have programs set up right now that you can just come. We have the Ministry of Arts and Culture.
Right.
We have the Ministry of Instrument Information, the Ministry of Defense, Self-Defense, Martial Arts.
That's right.
We have all of these things in the Nation of Islam. We are a government, a nation within a nation.
That's right.
We have these things. And whatever you believe in, okay, listen, we don't have to agree on the same thing like Brother Herman said, as far as religion. Believe what you want to believe. You're still my brother.
That's
You're
right.
still my sister. And can we work together for the common cause and the greater good of all of our people? And last but not least, we are on a boycott right now.
That's right.
So up with Jesus, down with Santa.
That's right.
And for years and years and years, I used to believe in Santa Claus, believe it or not. Would you believe Hakeem believes in Santa Claus? I believe that the Caucasian fat guy was sending gifts all across the world in one night. I believed in all of it. The tooth fairy, my mama had me. But y'all stop teaching y'all children. Stop teaching y'all children. Let the white, fake, fat, invisible that don't even exist man get the credit for your mama's hard-earned dollars.
That's
For
right.
your father's hard-earned dollars. We are boycotting Christmas not because we just hate our holiday. No, we want to show the power of the black dollar.
That's right.
White folks can't wait for Christmas and these holidays because they going to get our dollar. They be so happy rubbing their hands together like flies during these holidays.
That's
Their
right.
pockets getting fat. And our pockets getting, ain't nothing in my pocket, still dig deeper, ain't nothing coming up with lint. In my words of Rakim.
Right.
We still get, hey man, listen, let's hold our dollars this Christmas. Hold your dollars
Absolutely.
that day. Celebrate Kwanzaa. Teach your children how to flip them dollars. Teach them economics. You notice Asians got their children behind the cash register, teaching their children how to get our money. And we got our children on the other side of the counter, giving them the money, teaching them how to make change.
Right.
Oh man, Koreans ain't smarter than us. No, they not. Arabs ain't smarter than us. These other nationalities are not smarter than us. You're right, Brother Herman. The only thing they got on us is unity.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And man, brother, I just gotta thank you, brother, for coming on. I know it was short notice, but as we discussed before, man, we ain't got to get ready. We stays ready as Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. But listen, I wanna implore everybody, man, subscribe to the Final Call. Go to digital.finalcall.com and get that digital edition if you don't have any FOI in your city. And I don't know where you could be if you don't have FOI in your city, but it's not a good place. The current issue, pick that up. Iran, Farrakhan, and the Truth. Pick up the last few current issues we had come on out. Farrakhan boldly calls Jewish opponents to a showdown, and I am not an enemy to America. All of these, we didn't even get to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's Iran trip and the meaning of his Iran trip according to him. You know what I'm saying? Because only he could say it better than anyone else. But we'll get to that in another show, another time. Man, I want to thank you all, man. Thank you, my big brother, Hakeem, man. I love you, brother. We miss you. We wish you was in Denver slinging them Final Call newspaper because we sure need some help. But It's gonna be all good by the grace and mercy of Allah. You know what I'm saying? I wanna invite everyone out. We have a new spot in Denver, man. A new spot for our study group. It's called the Nation of Islam Denver Study Center. We're at 4651 Tulsa Court in Denver. That's in the Montbello area. We'll be meeting, it says 10 a.m. But this Sunday, we're going to watch the webcast. So it'll be 9 a.m. From 9 a.m. to, and we won't hold you long, but you know the message is going to be strong. We got our beautiful brother who hails out of the great city of Baltimore, Maryland, Brother Carlos Muhammad, is going to be delivering the message live from Mosque Mariam. So you guys come on out and support, and we could put you on, man. We could put you on this Muslim program. We could put you on this whole separation piece, because that's what we on. That's our business. So again, Brother Hashim, again, I want to thank you, brother. I love you, brother, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you all for tuning in and watching the Final Call News Hour. We're gonna leave out of here with a song by a great brother by the name of H2, aka Hashim Hakeem. It's one of my favorites, but he got some new music out too. He ain't even tell y'all about. But go to YouTube. What's the song called, Brother Hashim?
Because of you.
Because of you. And it's
Type in
Hashim Hakeem, Because of You. And let me tell y'all, man, it got 2 thumbs up and a black power fist from the Barbers at Supreme Style. So it's hot. You know what I'm saying? So go check that out. I'm gonna leave you guys, like I said, with a song by Brother Hashim Hakeem. Remember, stay black, stay strong. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Peace. We out.
I want to get right to the point. The United States of America is about to come under the divine chastisement of God.
It's not a game, not even a war. Beyond rain, beyond storm, beyond Katrina. You ain't never seen a natural disaster with a meaner demeanor. Beyond danger, when it lies anger, you'll never witness nothing stranger. To see a change, permanently rearrange back to where you came from. Oh, you don't get it? Oh, you the fittest. It don't matter. Anybody can get it. Everybody gon' feel it. From hell to the ceiling. Whole states wiped out, killing by the million. What happened to the buildings and all these children?